Packers get set to match up with the Houston Texans.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Mason Crosby of the Packers has it teed up, and off we go from Lambeau. Taken in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On first down, Watson. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Jair Alexander.
Watson, he fakes to Johnson and now looks to throw. Buying time to his left. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. It got his man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10. Faking the give, now Watson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a first and 10 at the 17. From the gun, here's Watson. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
Check 20.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, 66 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
Mason Crosby for the extra point.
That's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go. Still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Fielded in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Texans take over first and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he...
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. 20.
Expect nothing less, baby. Expect nothing less.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 77 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
His kick is good.
And he knocks it through.
That ties the game at 7. Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And some room to roam now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. These two teams all tied after 1. Giving to the big tight end on 4th. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Flush to his right. This is caught. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones there to make the grab. And the Packers have taken the lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First down, Texans.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Not much there, only a yard.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Being chased out left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by Will Redmond. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. That 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers hitting Allen Lazard. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
It's a gain of 4. And
that's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Amy Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And the half will begin with a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Again, it's Williams. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Rodgers pass.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Texans' 29-yard line.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Aaron Jones.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Got a man. It's Tonyan complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. slant to Adams. They will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Devontae Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Now he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Texans 7. Mason Crosby.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.